If you're over 60 and struggling with back pain, you've likely seen the Japanese towel trick. It's all over the internet, claiming to erase decades of stiffness in just 5 minutes. But here is the truth nobody is telling you. For a senior, that towel stretch is only half the story. If you do it without the second half I'm showing you today, you might actually be making your spinal disc stiffer in the long run. In this video, I'm revealing the decompression gap, the missing piece that ensures your back doesn't just stretch, but actually stays pain-free. Let's dive into the science of what's really happening inside your spine. So what exactly is the Japanese towel trick? Developed by Dr. Toshiki Fukutsudzi, it's deceptively simple. You roll a bath towel into a firm cylinder, place it directly under your lumbar curve, and lie flat for 5 minutes. Point your toes inward until they touch, creating a pigeon-toed bait shape, and stretch your arms overhead with your pinky fingers meeting. The theory is that this posture physically forces your pelvis to tilt back into its youthful, neutral position. It creates a vacuum effect in your abdomen and pulls the spine into a deep extension. For a 25-year-old with rubber band muscles, it's a quick reset. But for those of us in our 60s and 70s, our anatomy has a memory. Think of your spine as a stack of sponges separated by jelly-filled discs. When we are young, those sponges are soaked with fluid. They love to stretch. But as the decades pass, we deal with disc desiccation. Your spinal discs naturally lose water, becoming thinner and more brittle, like a sponge left out in the sun for too long. When you lie on that towel, you are forcing a dry sponge to bend. While you're on the floor, gravity opens up the front of your vertebrae, and for a moment the pressure on your nerves is gone. It feels like a miracle. But here is the catch. Your spine is wrapped in a stubborn, leathery web called fascia. Over 40 or 50 years of sitting, walking, and life, that fascia has shrink-wrapped around your stiff spine. When you stand up after the towel trick, that tight fascia acts like a heavy-duty rubber band. It immediately snaps your spine back into its old, hunched, and painful position. This is why the Japanese miracle often only lasts for 20 minutes. You are stretching the frame of the house, but you aren't hydrating the bricks. If you don't perform the second half, the hydration phase, you are just tugging on a dry string that's ready to snap. You're creating space, but you aren't teaching your body how to keep it. But before we get to that life-changing second half, we have to talk about safety. There are 3 towel traps that could actually be pinching your nerves or damaging those dry discs right now if you aren't careful. Before I reveal the second half of this secret, we need to address the safety of your spine. Because if you're over 60, your vertebrae aren't as forgiving as they used to be. There are 3 major mistakes, what I call towel traps, that can turn this healing stretch into a painful nerve pinch. Trap number 1, the high-pressure roll. Many people think that if a small towel feels good, a big, thick beach towel will be better. This is a dangerous mistake. If the roll is too high, it creates an aggressive pivot point on your vertebrae. For a senior with even mild thinning of the discs or osteoporosis, this can cause a microextension injury. You aren't trying to snap your back into shape, you are gently inviting it to open. Your towel roll should be no thicker than the palm of your hand. If you feel a sharp pinch instead of a dull stretch, the roll is too high. Listen to your body, not the internet. Trap number 2, the cold start mistake. Never, ever perform the Japanese towel trick immediately after waking up or after sitting in a recliner for 3 hours. When you've been still, your spinal discs are at their most brittle state. They lack the blood flow and warmth needed to stretch safely. Doing a deep extension on a cold spine is like trying to bend a frozen garden hose. It's prone to cracking or leaking. Always move your body. Take a short walk or do some gentle shoulder rolls for at least 5 minutes before you even touch that towel. Trap number 3, the pop-up finish. This is the most critical mistake of all. I see people finish their 5 minutes on the towel and then sit straight up like they're doing a gym sit-up. Stop! When you have been on that towel, your spinal segments have shifted and opened. If you snap upward, you are putting massive, uneven pressure on the back of your discs. This is how people accidentally throw their back out while trying to fix it. The correct way? You must roll slowly to your side like a log. Stay there in the fetal position for at least 30 seconds. This allows the fluid in your discs to redistribute before you put the weight of your torso back on your spine. By avoiding these 3 traps, you ensure that the first half of the story, the stretch, is actually safe. But now, let's talk about the second half. The missing piece that actually makes the relief last all day. Now, we reach the missing half of the story. If you've ever wondered why your back pain returns just 20 minutes after stretching, this is the reason. Stretching creates space, but space alone is useless if your muscles don't know how to lock it in. I call this the decompression lock. Remember our dried sponge analogy? To get the fluid back into those spinal discs, you need a specific type of movement called dynamic oscillation. You see, your discs don't have their own blood supply. They rely on a pumping action to stay hydrated. If you just lie on a towel and then go sit on the couch, you've opened the door but haven't invited the water inside. As soon as you roll off that towel and spend those 30 seconds on your side, I want you to perform the pelvic clock. While lying on your back with your knees bent and feet flat, imagine there is a clock face resting on your lower back. Gently tilt your pelvis so your lower back flattens toward 12 o'clock, then slowly arch it towards 6 o'clock. These are tiny microscopic movements, no more than an inch of travel. This gentle rocking motion acts like a biological pump. While your spine is still open from the towel stretch, this movement literally pulls nutrient-rich fluid into the discs you just decompressed. But it does something even more important. It talks to your nervous system. By moving gently in that new space, you are telling your brain, it is safe to be here. You don't need to snap back into a spasm to protect me. This is the other half of the Japanese secret. The towel provides the opportunity, but the pelvic clock provides the hydration and safety. When you combine them, you aren't just doing a trick, you are performing a physical reset of your entire lower body. You are teaching your antique lace, vessels, and sensitive nerves how to thrive in a realigned spine. If you've been doing the towel stretch and it hasn't worked, it's likely because you skipped this 2-minute locking phase. But for those of you who also feel a sharp pain traveling down your leg, there is one more step we need to take while your spine is in this open state. Now, there is one more vital piece of the second half that most people ignore. If you feel a nagging ache that travels into your glutes or a sharp zing that goes down your leg, your problem isn't just a stiff bone, it's a tethered nerve. Think of your sciatic nerve like a long, delicate silk thread that runs from your lower back all the way to your toes. When your spine is compressed and those dried sponges we talked about are flat, that silk thread gets snagged. It gets stuck in the surrounding tissue like a hair caught in a zipper. Simply lying on a towel opens the zipper, but it doesn't unstick the hair. This is why some people actually feel more pain after stretching. They are pulling on a nerve that is still snagged. To fix this, we use a technique called nerve flossing. While you are still on the floor after your pelvic clock movements, I want you to gently hug one knee toward your chest. Keep your other foot flat on the floor to protect your back. Now slowly, and I mean very slowly, straighten your leg toward the ceiling as far as you can without pain, while flexing your toes toward your face. Then point your toes away and relax the leg. You aren't stretching the nerve. Nerves don't like to be stretched like muscles do. You are sliding it. You are pulling the silk thread back and forth through that new space you created with the Japanese towel. This flossing action helps break up those tiny adhesions in your fascia, that shrink wrap we mentioned earlier. It allows your nervous system to reset its pain alarm. For many of you, doing this for just 60 seconds on each side after your towel stretch will be the difference between a day of limping and a day of walking with total freedom. By the time you stand up, you haven't just stretched your spine. You've hydrated your discs, calmed your muscles with the pelvic clock, and freed your nerves with flossing. You've completed the full story, but there is one final habit you must adopt the moment you leave the floor, or all this hard work will vanish in minutes. Now we come to the most critical moment of your day, the first 10 minutes after you stand up from your second half routine. Your spine is now hydrated, your nerves are flossing freely, and your sponges are full of fluid. But your body is in a highly adaptable state. If you immediately go sit on a soft, deep sofa or hunch over your kitchen counter, you are molding your spine back into its old, painful shape. I call this the 10-minute rule. After your towel routine, stay on your feet. Walk around the room gently for at least 5 to 10 minutes. Imagine that silver thread we talked about, pulling the top of your head toward the sky. Let your muscles learn how to support your new taller alignment while you are in motion. Think of it like this: the towel trick and the second half are the surgery, but those first 10 minutes of walking are the physical therapy. You need both for a permanent fix. I want to hear from you now. Have you tried the Japanese towel trick before? Did it work for you, or did the pain come right back? Now that you know about the missing half, the pelvic clock, and the nerve flossing, are you ready to try it the right way? Tell me in the comments below. I read every single one, and I want to hear about your progress. If this video helped you understand your body better today, please hit that like button. It tells the YouTube algorithm that this science-based approach is valuable, helping us reach more seniors who are struggling with back pain just like you were. And don't forget to subscribe to The Fit Senior. Thank you for trusting me with your health today. Remember, your spine isn't old. It's just waiting for the right movements to wake up. I'm proud of you for taking this step toward your independence. Keep learning, stay active, and I'll see you in the next one.